So, there's this game that I've been playing a lot with my friends lately, and I thought it was super fun and underrated. So, I wanted to talk about it. I was like, you know what? That would be a great topic for a video. So, let's talk about The Forest. Which is kind of weird because the way the map looks, it kind of looks like an island. Whatever, anyway, it's kind of like a 4-player co-op survival type game. And the way that it works is that your plane crashes into an island. I mean, forest. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna call it an island, alright? I keep saying island, and I don't really feel like correcting myself the whole video. So just ignore that, okay? Okay. So the way the game goes is you crash land on an island, right? You wake up in the middle of a plane crash, and you just immediately watch your son get snatched by some naked dude covered in blood. Okay? Okay, he's not completely naked, alright? I'm kind of exaggerating. But you get my point. It's pretty close. So anyways, your goal is to find the naked guy, get your son back, and get out of Dodge. But to do that, you'll have to learn how to survive on the island and fight other naked people and whatever these things are. I don't know, you've lost me. Now, I'm not sure how you played the game, but me and my friends, the first priority is eating all the food on the airplane, and then trying to find a shelter before the night comes. You do not want to be left alone without a shelter in the middle of the night, okay? But since we played on the hardest difficulty, it was fucking impossible because you get two-shot by the cannibals that are just running around hunting you the entire time. So anytime you meander off to get a few sticks here and there or cut down a tree, you're gonna get destroyed. The second you go away from your friends, they're gonna circle you and destroy you. And you better make sure you don't get hit, because you get hit once and you've got pretty much a pube hair of health left. And trust me, once you get weak, or even down for that matter, good luck, because after you run out of meds, which is gonna happen pretty quickly, you're gonna have to run around the entire island looking for some fucking plants so that you can make some medicine. Or you can just stay at a pube hair of health forever, and every time you get touched, you die. Honestly, I don't know why they made it so annoying to find medicine. And before you guys say anything, I know there's medicine on the plane, but other than that, you're not gonna find any good medicine unless you go to the deepest, darkest corner of a fucking cave. So you might as well forget about it. Also, another thing that I think is specific to the hard difficulty is building a fort is pretty much useless. Unless you can build the goddamn wall of Ba Sing Se. Trust me, we found out the hard way. We started building a shelter, right? We spent all day going down to cut trees, bring them back, to finish the cabin, and then finish a massive wall on the outside. Like, surrounding everything except the cliff. Just before nightfall, we finished. And at night, we were like, oh, phew, just in time. Because right when we finished, a bunch of people came right to the door. And so we thought we were fine, right? We were like, all right, cool. They can't get in. Nothing's going wrong. And then, a few days later, we were eating dinner, and getting ready to go to bed and start the next day. But just then, we heard a weird noise, like a groaning noise far away. And it was seemingly getting closer. So we were like, what the fuck is that? And we looked over the wall to see what was over there. And there was a fucking giant monster that we had never seen before, walking right up to our door. And when we got there, it just kind of stood there for a second. And we were like, fuck, we're really lucky to have these walls. That thing's doing nothing. He can't get in here. And then, just out of nowhere, it started hitting our walls like a fucking madman. And in the beginning, we were laughing because we were like, stupid fucking monster, you can't get in here. You're not gonna break that. What the fuck are you even doing? And then, in 1 second, our wall cracked, and we all looked at each other, and it was like,
hello there.
So we start running back to our cabin, and it breaks the entire wall down the next hit. And I mean the next fucking hit. We all just hide in the cabin, hoping it won't find us. And then for 1 second, we heard silence. Nothing. Just nothing. And then BOOM! Our entire house shatters like a glass table, and we had to retreat to another mountain and just wait the night out over there while we watch our base be destroyed as the monster destroys everything in our camp. It just absolutely ravaged everything. So yeah, after that, we just decided there's no point in building anything. We're just gonna sleep on the boat. I think my favorite part of the game was going into the caves, and most of the reason was because I loved pushing my friends into an area where I knew a monster would be and hearing them freak out on the mic when they got murdered. It was so funny. Sometimes I would even pretend to go into a fight with them, to give them a little confidence, and then once I got in there, I'd just sneak out the back when they weren't looking and just hear them start screaming. Oh, that was so funny. If you haven't figured it out by now, I just love trolling. It's so fun. But hey, the caves weren't all bad. You could find some really cool stuff in there. Like in one area, we found a bunch of katanas. Good lord, those are so OP. We would just swarm a monster like a pack of locusts and just hack away until they collapsed. Then, of course, like a psychopath, I would cut all their limbs off and sneak it into the food. It was so funny watching the reactions when we ate. Oh my god. It was like a game of Russian roulette. Everyone gets a rabbit, a deer, whatever, and one poor soul takes a piece of the meat off and they start eating it into a severed leg. And their health goes down and their character is like, oh! My friend's like, what the fuck? I thought I was eating rabbit! Yeah, honestly, this game would be so much less fun without playing with friends. I know I haven't really touched on the story that much, but I was really surprisingly interested in it. To be fair, I do like stories that are kind of like a horror mystery, and this one fits that really well. So maybe it just made for me. But either way, it always made me want to keep exploring. Anytime I found an item, it would link to other stuff and kind of fit in pieces of the puzzle of the mystery on the island. So it made me want to keep exploring every area and try to look through everything to make sure I don't miss any kind of mystery that would tell me about the island. Honestly, even if it didn't help me in the game to progress or anything, just finding stuff that explained why stuff was happening and the mystery behind it was really cool. And I felt like every answer was really satisfying at the end. Which you can't say for a lot of mystery. That's the big weakness usually. Is if you set something really cool up and then it doesn't pay off, it just kind of ruins the entire game. The only thing I didn't like was that once you chose a certain ending, I'm not going to spoil it, you can't go back to play in free play mode with your shelter or with your friends there. Which would have been really nice to know earlier, but whatever. Overall, I thought it was a really cool game, and I just wanted to talk about it a little bit and see if anyone else has any similar experiences to me. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.